You know that feeling when a dog looks at you, and for a second, it does not feel like an animal staring back. It feels like it knows something, not in a magic way, but in that quiet, weird way dogs have, where they watch your face, notice your voice change, react when you are upset, and somehow know you are about to leave the house before you have even picked up your keys. Most people explain that feeling in the simple way. Dogs are smart, dogs are loyal, dogs love us because we feed them, and that is true, but it is not really the answer. Because the reason dogs feel so different from almost every other animal is not just that we trained them well, it is that they have been living inside the human world for longer than almost anything else on earth. Before farming, before horses, before cities, before writing, before money, before civilization as we think of it, humans were already living beside the animals that would become dogs. And the strange part is, the first animal humans ever domesticated was not a cow, a sheep, or a pig. It was a wolf. And we probably did not capture it. The more likely version is that some wolves came closer first, the less afraid ones. The ones that could handle the fire, the smoke, the smell of people. And them being more chilled led to humans actually giving the wolves scraps, bones, and leftover meat. And when you are trying to survive, that matters. Because the wolf that gets food without fighting for every meal has a better chance of living long enough to have pups. And if those pups were a little calmer around humans too, the same thing kept happening again. The nervous wolves stayed away. The calmer ones stayed close. And over thousands of years, the wolf at the edge of the camp became something new, a dog. So dogs did not get dragged into our world. They just walked right into it. But the real question is what happened once they were there. Because once humans had dogs beside them, humans were not the same animal anymore. Imagine a hunter, 40,000 years ago, standing at the edge of a forest with a spear. That is basically his whole setup. Somewhere in those trees is an animal faster than him, stronger than him, and much better at noticing danger than he is. Humans are clever, obviously, but physically, we are not great predators. We are not fast. Our hearing is average. Our sense of smell is terrible compared to most animals. And in the dark, we are almost useless. Most of us struggle to find something in the fridge. A wolf can follow a trail long after we would have lost it completely. Now put a dog beside that hunter, and the whole situation changes. The human has the spear, the plan, the fire, and the language. The dog has the nose, the ears, the speed, and the instinct. The dog can smell where prey went after the trail has vanished to a human. It can hear movement before the hunter knows anything is there. It can warn the group before danger gets close. It can track something the human would have lost completely. So the dog did not just make humans feel less lonely. It made humans harder to kill, harder to surprise, harder to compete with, and maybe that mattered more than we realize. Anthropologist Pat Shipman has argued that dogs may have helped modern humans compete against Neanderthals. When modern humans moved into Europe, Neanderthals were already there. And Neanderthals were not stupid. They were strong. They had tools. They used fire. They had survived for hundreds of thousands of years. But if one human group has dogs helping them track prey, guard camp, and notice danger in the dark, while another group does not, that is an edge. Not a movie moment. Not one heroic dog saving humanity. Just a tiny advantage repeated over and over. One better hunt, one safer night, one child surviving winter, one group finding food when another group cannot. That is how a small difference becomes a huge one. And the night might have been just as important as the hunt. Because for most of human history, night was not cozy. It was not blankets, locked doors, lamps, and scrolling on your phone. It was real darkness. And in that darkness were animals that could see better than you, hear better than you, and move quieter than you. A sleeping human is vulnerable. A dog is not. So a dog at the edge of camp was not just company. It was an alarm system with teeth. If something moved, it heard it. If something came close, it reacted. And that meant humans woke up before it was too late. A safer camp means better sleep. Better sleep means better hunting, better thinking, better protection for children, better chances of making it to the next morning. One night of that is useful. Thousands of years of it can change a species. But this is where the story gets even stranger. Because dogs did not just become useful to us. They became tuned to us. Brian Hare, a researcher at Duke University, has spent years studying how dogs understand humans. Dogs follow where we point. They watch our eyes. They react to our tone. They read our faces. And here's what makes that strange. A chimp is much closer to you on the family tree, but socially, a dog fits into your world better. A dog can read what you want from a glance, while an animal much closer to us often cannot. That should not make sense, unless dogs were shaped by living with us. For thousands of years, dogs that understood humans stayed close, and humans that understood dogs probably survived better. The two species were shaping each other without knowing it. The dog that could read a human got kept near the fire. The human who trusted the dog hunted better and slept safer. And slowly the bond got deeper. You can even see it in their faces. Dogs have muscles around their eyes that wolves do not use in the same way. Those muscles help create the face every dog owner knows. The soft eyes, the raised eyebrows, the look that makes you feel guilty for leaving the room for 5 minutes. We call it puppy dog eyes, but it may not just be cute. It may be evolution. Dogs that could make humans feel something were more likely to be kept close. So over time, dogs became better at reaching us without words. Their faces changed because of us, and our brains respond to them because of that. When a human and a dog look into each other's eyes, both can release oxytocin, the bonding hormone linked to parents and babies. So when you feel attached to a dog, that is not just you being soft. Your body is treating that animal like part of your social world, and the dog is reacting back. That is why it feels different. Because the real story is not that humans found wolves and turned them into pets. It is that some wolves came closer. The calmer ones stayed. The ones that understood us stayed close. And over thousands of years, they became something no other animal had ever become. A partner. They helped us hunt. They helped us sleep. They warned us about danger. They learned to read our faces. And somewhere along the way, the animal at the edge of the fire became the animal lying at the end of your bed. So when a dog looks at you like it understands something, maybe that feeling is not random. Maybe it is the leftover of the oldest deal humans ever made with another species. You stay near the fire, we share the food, you listen into the dark, and together we make it to morning.